Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Festivus. We're going to make some candy cane ice cream today and show you just how simple it is to make this great holiday treat. It's only 2 key ingredients, the ice cream dairy blend and candy canes. I've already pre-ground some candy canes, but I wanted to show you what I'm doing here. I don't just throw these into the Emery Thompson, which you certainly can. We're the only machine in the world that you can that's strong enough and that has the largest openings to do that. But since this is going to go to small children, we even have a new baby relative in the family from the Lot family, and I want to make sure that it is completely pulverized so that if the baby's eating this ice cream, she doesn't get anything sharp in her throat. I've seen commercial ice creams that don't do that, and they have little jagged pieces, which I think is a little too risky. So I have my Ninja blender here, and I'm just going to break these. Won't take me long. Just, in half. No big deal. The Ninja's going to do all the work. I didn't used to believe in these things until my friend Gary Faselli, Gary's Ice Cream in Chelmsford, Mass., kept raving about them, and it really is pretty amazing. I've never seen a blender that could take hard candies like this and turn it into basically a powder. So these are pretty good sized pieces going in. I'm just snapping them. I used, I believe, to a 1 tub, I used 3 boxes of candy canes. That's a bit of overkill. You can adjust it. Start with at least 2 per tub, but adjust it to your own personal taste. Since I'm not trying to make a profit on this, I'm going for the wow factor. I want people to just say, holy cow, could you get any more candy cane in there? And so that's my intent there. You lock this down, make sure it's locked, you push the power button, and it's not starting. 2 key things about equipment, all equipment, whether it's an Emery Thompson, whether it's a storage freezer or a Ninja blender, make sure it's plugged in. I forgot to plug it in, Jack. The other key thing about equipment is if you're having a concern, don't worry about it, especially in Emery Thompson. It's only a piece of machinery. If you have a concern, just pull the plug, turn the power off to it, or twist lock plug if it's a CB350, and then call us. We're here all the time. You'll get a live person, a live engineer, a live technician. We don't have answering machines, so you're going to get a real person. And if it was, I take if you leave a message on the email, I get all messages after hours come to my computer, so I see it. So if you call at 7:30 at night and leave a message, I'm going to see it before I go to bed and call you back. No other country in the world, no other company in the world, rather, do I know where the CEO of a good-sized corporation is going to call you back from their home on a Saturday night. But we do, because we build the best machines in the world, and usually if something goes wrong, it's something you're doing wrong. It's not plugged in. The water's not turned on. You put a blade on backwards. So back to this great Ninja. We hit power. Looks like a great thing to run at a Christmas party if you get some annoying relative who won't shut up. You just turn on your Ninja. That stops all conversation, doesn't it? So, there we go. That was easy. Incredible blade there. And I'm going to use this and some more, so I'm just going to pour it. I'm going to turn on the machine. I'm going to run on homemade on the infinite overrun control. And I'm just going to pour that right in. Now, see, I had already just made some ice cream before this, the sugar cookies. So I know there's a tiny bit of mix in there. I'll turn that off and let me go over and measure out my ice cream mix. Let's move the incredible Ninja out of the way. And I think I'll unplug it so I don't trip over the cord. So I'm going to put in, this is a blend that came from the dairy, came out of the cow yesterday around noon, got to the dairy, was blended into milk, cream, sugar, and skim milk, and then was pasteurized and delivered to me overnight while I was sleeping. They have a key to the building. They came in and said, here's your fresh from the cow mix. And let me just do this. These things are a little tricky to work with, but you'll get used to it. And mix, which is a terrible term, it's a blend, is available anywhere in the United States. You can be in any city and they're going to have, you can call up a dairy and they'll have this. Because after all, any place where there's a McDonald's or a Burger King or any place, a Hardee's, any place like that, and they're selling milkshakes or soft ice cream, it came from a dairy. So it's available everywhere. That will be my second batch. So I'll pour this in. This is going to be video number 200. The last one was 249. This will be video number 250 that we've produced. No one has ever done that either. We do a lot of innovative things here at Emery Thompson. My belief is if you're going to buy a machine and you're going to go into a business, don't you have a right to know how to run it before you buy it? You want to know everything you can possibly know. No other company does this. I know the Italian companies have someone dressed up in a white suit and they're measuring the sugar content with some gadget I've never used before, and they're very precise. I'm more like Julia Child, you know, it's going to go in there and it's going to make great ice cream. There could be nothing more simple than making ice cream. And ices and gelato and sorbet and Italian ice and everything else. So I'm going to turn on the infinite overrun control, turn on the refrigeration. Let me get the rest of my candy cane over here. Jack, can you zoom in on this so they can see?
Yes, sir.
That's my ground up candy cane. Got it?
Okay, Steve, now I got it.
All right. So we'll just pour this in. It's a great smell. It's going to make a great color because of the candy cane. Now, one little trick I learned the hard way. Do not buy the white and green candy canes. These, of course, are the red candy canes. Don't buy the green candy canes, the white and green spiral. They look like mud, so you don't want to use them. And it's all in there, and that's all there is to this recipe. Couldn't be simpler. Now, I do want to talk briefly about a dipping cabinet and storing ice cream. Let me bring a dipping cabinet over. This is my name on it, but this is a Nelson cabinet, C. Nelson Company. These are the best dipping cabinets in the world. This cabinet is 19 years old and still running the day like it did when it was new. Now, the interesting thing about dipping cabinets and why it concerns you is I mentioned in the previous tape that the more sugar you have in a formula, the longer the freezing time. So vanilla ice cream might be 7.5 minutes. Italian ice, lemon ice is going to be about 16, maybe at the most 17 minutes. Because Italian ice has no dairy, it's all sugar, water, and fresh lemon juice. So it's got a lot of sugar in it. Ice cream, on the other hand, is high in fat or higher in fat and very low in sugar. The higher the sugar content, the longer the freezing time. So I've got three ice creams. I've got vanilla ice cream. I made the sugar cookie ice cream. Now the sugar in the sugar cookies brings more sugar to the formula. So it's going to take a little longer to freeze. The candy cane brings a whole lot of sugar to the formula. So it'll take a little longer to freeze. But more important is the higher the sugar content, the more sugar in there, the softer it's going to tend to run. Have you ever gone into an ice cream parlor and the server is scooping this one scoop of your ice cream very nicely, and the second one, the server is just really fighting to scoop it. By the way, never get in a fight with a ice cream server. They've usually got a right arm like you wouldn't believe. But they're fighting with scooping it. That means the owner doesn't know a very simple trick, and that is this cabinet is wrapped all the way around in aluminum tubing. Emery Thompson uses copper because it lasts forever, but it costs 9 times as much. That's why we last 45 years. All dipping cabinets are wrapped in aluminum tubing, so on this side there's cold, here there's cold, back here there's cold. So we've set the cabinet for 6 degrees above zero, 6 degrees Fahrenheit for ice cream. Now, if I put a tub here in the corner, let's use this corner, right here in this corner, this tub is being hit by refrigeration here and refrigeration here. My second tub right here is being hit by refrigeration just here. And again, this corner and this corner and this corner and this corner are getting 2 walls of cold as opposed to 1 wall of cold or 1 wall of cold over here. So even though the cabinet is 6 degrees Fahrenheit, all 6 degrees is not equal. The corners are much colder than the center. So your sugar, your high sugar content ice creams or your Italian ices, the higher the sugar, the softer the product because of the sugar in there. It inhibits freezing. So I'm going to put my candy cane in this corner, and I'm going to put my vanilla ice cream here, because the vanilla is going to, that way the vanilla is going to scoop nicely, and the candy cane, even though it's in a colder corner, is still also going to scoop nicely. If I reverse them, the candy cane is going to be soft and mushy, and the vanilla is going to be hard as a rock. You won't be able to scoop it. So the placement in your cabinet makes a lot of difference. Very simple technique. This is what we teach you for free here at our now 250 how-to videos. So while this is running for a few more minutes, I'm going to go answer some phone calls and some emails, and I'll be back and we'll take a look at the product. Now I'm going to give this ice cream out as Christmas gifts. It sure beats a tie. And so I'm going to put it in smaller packages. Instead of dumping all the ice cream out into a large tub in 30 seconds, I'm going to fill these smaller half gelato pans. And see how it cuts off nicely? That tells me it's ready. That's a nice dry looking product. That's beautiful. And if you're giving it out to friends, make it look like it's full, but just don't fill it to the top. That way you'll have more friends with more ice cream. I take this to doctors too. When you get a little bit older, you're going to visit doctors, and they're going to keep you waiting for 3 hours, but not me. I walk in with ice cream, and the receptionist says, "Oh, great, I'll take that back to the doctor." "No, I'll hold on to it, thank you." And by the way, it's melting. It gets you right in. Doctors, dentists, you name it. Isn't that nice looking? It's got this beautiful pale pink color. It's just gorgeous. And it's just the candy cane. And believe me, I wish you could try it. It's got a ton of flavor, but I don't have to worry about candy cane pieces with children. We have more to go. So you can see all 250 of our videos at the company name, Emery, E-M-E-R-Y. That was my grandfather's first name. EmeryThompson.com. And if you want to reach me, you can contact me at steve@EmeryThompson.com. And we do things that nobody else ever would do. Our complete price list on these machines. That one is $9,950. Hasn't changed in 3 years. It's not going to change this year either. Because I want to get more and more people into the Italian ice and ice cream and gelato business. We put our prices right up there at the website. There's no haggling. Whether you're an individual store or a sheikh over in Saudi Arabia, same price, same fair price. and we build them all by hand. They're all made in the USA. And when you call, we can tell you all about it and help you decide which machine size you want. That's it. That's our candy cane ice cream. Let me show you again that. And I do hope you have a very Merry Christmas and an extremely prosperous New Year. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Great job, Steve.
Sammy, come here, girl.